Vancouver Island University presentation. Now, I know some of you have already attended multiple presentations, and I know how it is to be online for lots and lots of hours in the day. So I want to first and foremost thank CCUF for hosting this great event. I have loved connecting with students, and I want to remind you that at VIU, we love connecting with students like you. We really believe in giving that personal one communication that you want. So I'll say right up front, you can always email us. It is worldviu@viu.ca. If you want to have a call, a WhatsApp chat, however it is that you want to be communicated with, we honor that. So I'm also going to ask my CCUF partner, Preya, thank you for being here, to put a few links over there in the chat, because I know for some of you, you won't be able to attend the full presentation, and you might just be looking for a little bit of information. So the links that Preya is putting over there in the chat, essentially, they are going to help you search all of our different programs. We have so many. I won't be able to go in depth through all of them this morning. She's also putting a link in the chat. If you are here because you're interested in our master's and our graduate certificates and programs, if you feel like even more learning today, we have a special free live event on where you can meet directly with chairs of different programs. So that registration link is there for you. And then lastly, towards the end, we'll be talking about the tour of campus. I know that we're all living and learning in a world right now where going and visiting campuses is not super easy. So we do have a great video up on our YouTube channel that does give you a sense of what our campus is like. So Preya, thank you for pasting those links over there. Again, I will go through them at the end, but in case I lose you, I want to make sure that you have them now. All right. So let's talk a little bit about VIU, what makes our experience so unique. I know this is going to sound really cheesy, but it's a true story. Our campus photographer is a good friend of mine. And one thing that he tells me is whenever he's going around and he's collecting photos, he never has to stage them. He loves telling me how he finds students with smiles on their faces all the time. And, yes, of course, the learning at VIU is very rich, but I'm going to be real with you and say that part of it is also about the location. And I didn't grow up on Vancouver Island. I am new to it myself. I'm originally from the US, and I've lived and worked in 7 different countries before I came to Vancouver Island. So Vancouver Island is an island that's off Canada. We're out there in the Pacific. And what you'll notice is the island is next to, it's a flight or a ferry away from Vancouver City. Some folks are a little bit confused by that. So no, we are not in Vancouver City. We're on Vancouver Island. But we are just within reach. And I will also say that Nanaimo, the city we're in, it's one of the most affordable cities in all of Canada. So it's a great place to be in that regard as well. What I really love about Vancouver Island, though, is the outdoor adventures that you can have. And remember those smiling faces I mentioned? I think that students have a better sense of well-being here because you can work hard and play hard. It's not uncommon for myself personally to have had a really long week in the office, but then on the weekend, I can get out there on my stand-up paddleboard. I'm surrounded by nature. It's absolutely stunning. And here's the thing, I can do it all year round because our climate is so mild. Now, I know never before have we needed to have outlets like that for our mental and our physical well-being. And at Vancouver Island, again, you have access to so many hiking trails. You can really be just surrounded by nature 7 days a week. And our climate is mild enough that you enjoy it 12 months of the year. So just a quick overview of VIU. We do have 14,500 students. We have over 120 programs. The key number on this slide for me is our maximum class size. You're never going to be in a class that's larger than 34 students. Now, why did I say that's our most important number? That's the number that lets you know the level of care you get at as a student. When I was a university student, my professors didn't know who I was. I was just a number to them. At VIU, the professors know who you are. They know you by name, they recognize you, you develop relationships with them, and you develop a strong network with students at VIU. So that's the advantage of being in small class sizes. Our unique points, we do have an English language center right on campus. They can help you not just with your language, but we also put it in context and we help you acquire the skills that you need to be a strong student. When you need research support, whenever you need it, it's there for you. We also have a high school on campus. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. The things that students tell me all the time, I love asking students, what is it that you would tell other prospective students you appreciate about VIU? I already talked about the mild weather. They talk about it too. Engaged local business community. The city of Nanaimo has lots of small businesses. So if you are interested in becoming a business owner, it's a great place to be. The community is really safe. The number of natural attractions is great. But also, if you love urban life, you can get a taste of that. And you can always spend the weekend in Vancouver City if you'd like. As I mentioned before, Nanaimo is one of the most affordable cities in all of Canada, and it's incredibly multicultural. Not only is our campus really international, but the city is as well. So that high school that I mentioned, yes, we do have a high school that's also on our campus. And I mention that because it's not uncommon for us to have families enroll siblings at our school so that they can be there together. And over there on the right, you can see the list of different nationalities of students that we've had. It truly is an international experience. Again, if you want more information about just the high school, please, you can reach out at any time, worldviu@viu.ca to learn more. The other really unique feature that we have is our International University Foundation Year. Now, I know that sometimes when folks are looking to enroll in university, they might not meet all of the requirements. We don't want that to be an obstacle for you in your future pathway. So, our International University Foundation Year, it's for any students who are age 16 to 25 and they need to meet those qualifying requirements. You do this foundation year and you have guaranteed acceptance to VIU. Now, if you don't want to stick it out at VIU and you want to do our international foundation year, you can, of course, continue through to other Canadian post-secondary institutions. Now, it's not just about qualifying you, it also lets you get university credits while you're learning. So, this is really, really unique to VIU. The QR code that's up there on the screen, if you have a smartphone handy and you want to learn more about that foundation year right now, go ahead. I'll give you a moment to get your camera out. Go ahead and scan that. And more about that foundation year will just be right there on your phone for you to check out later on. And of course, I can take more specific questions about that at the end of the presentation. Now, if you're here for our general undergraduate programs, just a few notes here. Of course, we do have diplomas that are 2-year programs. We have certificates that are 1-year programs. And we have your typical 4-year degree with major, minor, and honors options. When you are applying, of course, we need your high school transcript. We will need that translated. And you can see on the screen here our English language requirements. Now, if you're looking at those requirements and you're thinking, yikes, I'm actually below the 6 in my IELTS, we do take conditional offers where we will have you enroll in some English language support to get you up to speed. And I mention this because at VIU, we really believe in supporting students. We think that university should be a pathway for everybody. So that's why we love supporting students. We never want you to feel like a diploma certificate or a bachelor's degree is out of reach. Now, if you're wondering, what do we offer in terms of bachelor's? Again, we have arts, humanities, social studies. We have performing arts, design, management, science and technology, tourism, recreation and hospitality, education, health and human services. We have some expo studies. And of course, if you are somebody who is thinking you would love to go into the culinary arts, our program is really, really unique. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a moment. So, what do we have in terms of art design and performing arts? Everything from graphic design to music. Now, I want to mention that Nanaimo also has a small, bustling artist scene, and students tell us all the time that they love actually working with local gallery and performance space owners so that they can not only be boosting their studies, but boosting that portfolio to help them down the road in pursuing a career. When it comes to management and business, yes, we do have a certificate, we have a diploma, and we have our BBA. So everything from accounting to marketing is on offer. And you'll remember that I told you earlier where our campus is located is right in the downtown area of Nanaimo. So our students get out into that business scene. They are connecting with folks who are working in international business all the time because we know that that real world experience is not just what you need, but it's what you deserve. So, what do some of our students actually tell us? Well, here's Marcello. He's from Indonesia, and he is currently taking a BBA. I'll give you a moment to read that quote to yourself. But again, I just want to highlight Marcello tells us all the time that this is a school that is especially really steered towards international students. You're not going to feel like I don't have other international students to connect with. You're going to have a real community of fellow international students to connect with. And I see this happening on campus all the time. We host events that are special for that community. And as I said, with our small class sizes, you're getting to know your professors. It really does have a community feel to it. Now, I told you that our hospitality industry is really unique. And that's because with our culinary arts program, we actually have our own restaurant on campus where, of course, those who are interested in becoming bakers or in owning their own restaurants, they are running the back of the house. And then those who are interested in hospitality and tourism are running the front of the house for that restaurant. We're hosting special events there all the time. It's really a great scene. You actually have to make reservations. That's how popular it is. So if you come to VIU for hospitality, tourism, recreation, or culinary, where have some of our students gone to? They've gone to Four Seasons, to Disney, Marriott, and Fairmont. Again, this is one of our more popular programs. And it's one that you can really experience in a unique way on VIU by going to our on campus restaurant that's run 100% by the students. So, what do we hear again? I know that it's one thing for me to tell you that it's a special program. It's another thing for you to hear it from the students. And so, this current culinary arts student tells us that yes, not only am I learning a lot on campus, but I'm taking advantage of the many field trips. So, British Columbia, the province where VIU is located, is if you know your wines, it's a community that there are many, many, many wineries. So that means there's multiple opportunities for you to get out and learn more about hospitality, tourism, and winery. And that's what this student is telling us about. It's not just what's happening on campus, but it's what's happening in the surrounding areas. Those of you who are here because you are passionate about science and technology, again, we have some 2-year diploma options. You can see those there. We have a 1-year certificate in engineering, and we have that Bachelor of Science, everything from biology to psychology. You can see the prereqs up there on the screen. But again, I'm going to thank my CCUF colleague who has the link that takes you over to our international student page from the website. I will show you around that site later on, but for any of those bachelor degrees or diplomas that you want to learn more about, all you would do on that site is simply search them. You're going to find key dates, you're going to find all of the fees, and we link you over to that program's webpage so that you can really be exploring the details of what you will study. Education, health, and human services. Again, lots of different options here. We know sometimes people want to join us just for a certificate or just for a diploma. We have those options. And we have the bachelor's. So if you're taking a certificate or a diploma, You can also decide later on, okay, I've done this diploma and now I want to enroll in a bachelor's degree. So everything from a Bachelor of Arts in Child and Youth Care, Bachelor of Education, Physical Education, Early Childhood Education, Child and Youth Care, and then also related to that are our social services. And yet another student tutorial here. Summer is from Taiwan, and she was involved in our Early Education Children's Center. And again, she's got a great success story here. Once she graduated, she was quickly promoted to a supervisor. And I will say that our career center at VIU, we're working with students all the time to make sure that their successful experience doesn't end the day they graduate. We are going to work with you, personally with you, to make sure that your journey to your career is a positive, well supported experience. Graduate programs. My CCUF colleague actually has a link to an event that VIU is hosting in about 6 hours. So it'll be a long day for me. But we know that it's one thing for you to hear about the graduate programs from me. It's an entirely different thing for you to be able to connect with chairs of the program, with faculty in the program. So if that is something that you're interested in, you can join us tonight where you can network with, again, the faculty. You can hear and connect directly with chairs of our MBA program, our Masters of Arts in Sustainable Leisure Management, all of the programs you see listed here. Again, that's a free event. I would encourage you, if you're thinking about graduate programs or you're thinking about graduate certificate and diplomas, it's going to be a great event. We have students that are from our graduate programs who are there so that you can ask them a little bit more about their student experience. And in terms of a networking event, I'm really looking forward to it. And I would also encourage you, it's a great way to hear, to get a sense of, well, who's leading these programs? What are they like? What are some of the faculty like? I just think that's a great window into that experience. The other resource, another QR code here. So I'll take a breath and give you a chance to get out your phone. Go ahead and scan that. If you want a brochure, if you are not 100% sure on which program or which pathway you're interested in, our free brochures are really helpful. Again, they're downloads that if you want to print them out, go ahead and print them out. If you just want to be going through them online, they've got great information. These are really wonderful resources for those of you who are thinking, I haven't decided yet, and I want to learn about the full menu. So that QR code is going to take you over to those brochures. You did hear me mention earlier, if you need some support, some language support, I want to point out that I have seen schools that they say they offer English language support, and it's just sort of an online program. It's not a personal program, and it's not fun. It's not at all about the community. That's not what we offer here at VIU. Our English Language Center takes you out into the community. We are doing activities. We are enjoying the environment that we are in, as well as working on our language skills. So our English Language Center is it's really, really popular with students because not only does it help them with their language, it also helps them develop their network. It helps them learn about other cultures. It helps them develop those friendships that we know are also really, really important for your university experience. And as I said earlier, this is not an online program. This is one-to-one support. You need support from a tutor or a teacher. You're meeting with a human being, which is, I think anytime you're doing learning, you want that personal touch. So what does Enrique tell us? Enrique is from Mexico. He wanted to join our English Language Center. And you've got kind of a little bit of an overview of his day here. Again, it's something that he would work into his day that he would have scheduled. And I want to point out where you see homework at VIU library. The reason that Enrique would go over to the library to do his homework is because we always have people there to support you. Whether you need research support, whether you need writing guidance, you can get it from our professional staff However, we also know that sometimes students prefer working with their peers. That's why we also have a peer to peer support service in our library as well. Giving you a moment just to read what Enrique tells us. And I want to say, yes, his final line there, where he points out he has friends from all around the world. This is something that we see because we've got those small class sizes. Students are really forming tight networks, tight friendships, but also networks that they can connect with later on when they're out in the workforce. Our Student Services Center has not just academic support, we have immigration support, housing support, and we also have amazing counseling support. Part of that, one of my favorite things that I see happening is we have 3 days a week where we have therapy dogs on campus. I don't know if any of you are dog people in the audience, but it's a wonderful service. I enjoy it as well. So, what are your housing options? We do have an on campus residence, we do have homestay, or we have off campus housing options. And as someone who has moved myself, I know it can be really stressful when you're trying to figure all of that out. So, you can also meet with a housing coordinator who will walk you through these different options to help you figure out which one is the best for you. Now, our on-campus residents, if you're a very, very social person and you always want to have somebody to socialize with, this is an option that's great. You do have to apply early. I think that having that on-campus residence is really great because our library is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can access that, and it's literally just a short walk away. So that's a really nice option. Again, we've got two different students in a residence, so it's not crowded. If you have visited many different dormitories or different on-campus residencies, I know sometimes it's too crowded. That wouldn't be for me, but our setup where you're just sharing with one other person is quite nice. Now, our homestay option. This is really great if you would like to be, you're thinking about British Columbia or Western Canada being part of your permanent life plan, because the homestay option, this is going to be a Canadian family who will really help you get to know what life is like in the region. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier that when you live on campus, you have around the clock support if you need it. You would have that as a homestay student as well. We do have a homestay option where if something is not going well, we're never going to leave you to just deal with it. We have lots of support systems in place to help you out with that. Now, again, another popular option is just to be living in the city of Nanaimo. This is best if you really like flexibility, if you are very independent. You do have the option to connect and share a place with some roommates. That, of course, makes it much more affordable. And we also have an off campus housing coordinator to help you out with that process. If you like sports, our varsity athletic teams are listed here. Our sports teams are really, really well supported by the local community. The local community comes out all the time to support our different teams, and it's just sort of again a really fun way to integrate with the community. So, hopefully, at this point, you might be thinking, how do I apply? The first step is to check when is the intake, when is the deadline. Make sure you've got the requirements. We do have an online form, we have an application fee. You're going to want to get us your transcripts, your documentation. Now, the follow up, you can email study@viu.ca, or if you're applying to a graduate program, that would be masters@viu.ca to check. Now, here's the thing. A lot of other universities, you're going to wait a long time to hear back. At VIU, you never wait longer than 2 weeks until you hear back from us. Again, that's part of our promise to care and support. We know it's really stressful to wait around and hear whether or not you've been accepted to a program. So our admissions team, they work really hard to make sure that that wait is not too lengthy. So if you've got questions, you can reach out to me personally. My email is there for you on the screen. If you have more general questions, you can also contact World VIU at viu.ca. Sometimes, of course, you just want to talk to a person. So that's our phone call, our phone line, and you can connect with whoever it is that you need to be connected with. We also know that many of you might be working with an agent or a partner to help you out in this journey. Um, so if agents have any questions, they can reach out to agents at viu.ca. I'm leaving that QR code up there for you again. That's going to take you over to give you a little more support to learn about all of our different programs. And I also want to just sort of take you through, as I mentioned before, that website. Again, we believe in giving you the information you need when you need it. So if I just share my screen one more time, I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview. How actually do I search for programs? So this is the link that my colleague at CCUF put out there. And as I scroll down, there's lots of different information. If you love those student stories, click here for more of them. But university programs, if I click to learn more, either I can search right here. If I know the program, I can go ahead and enter it. Or if you want to look through our different offerings, if I click on business and management, it has all of the different options. It's got those diplomas and certificates. But let's say that I am interested in a BBA in accounting. When I click on this, the program outline is here. I can open that up. Any of the program fees, I can open this up, and I want to be sure to scroll down to international. Those fees are all listed there. But the feature that I really like, or the two features that I really like, is exploring this. I hear from students all the time that they actually change their minds when they realize that another program was better suited to them. So that's why we have the you may also be interested in options, because we see some students who thought they were interested in accounting. Actually, maybe it was looking at a post degree in business studies that was the better fit from them. And as I mentioned, visiting the department website, when I click here, this is a way to get a better overview of what it is that you'll actually be doing and studying, because again, we know that that matters. Now, the other link that my amazing CCUF colleague has put in, those of you who are interested in our graduate programs, please consider joining us this free expo tonight. This is from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. When you register for that event, that is going to connect you directly with those chairs, those heads of the different programs. I think that's just super important for you to hear directly from teaching faculty. It's one thing for you to hear it from me. It's an entirely different thing for you to be hearing it directly from the chair of a program, to be getting a sense of, is this the kind of person that I would love to be in a classroom with? That matters. And of course, that's going to be such an important part of your experience. So I do have I have a video to show touring the campus, but I think what I might do is wait on that. I'll take a few questions. My colleague Preya from CCUF has the link to that. She's going to share that video with you in the chat as well. So if you don't have time now and you want to watch it later on, the tour video, I'll point out, it's actually led by two students, because again, at VIU, we think it's important that you're hearing directly from the students. What has their experience been like? So I'm going to pause now. I'm going to actually look through some of these questions and answer them. I do have, there's quite a few questions here about scholarships. Unfortunately, for the current intake season, VIU does not have any other scholarships on offer. And of course, we are so sorry to relay that information to you. However, one thing that I want to point out that's really important for you to be aware of is that Nanaimo is very affordable. So when you are able to get here, what we often hear students saying is, okay, I might not have been able to get a scholarship to be here, but I find the cost of living is much lower here than it would be in Vancouver, much lower than it would be in a city like Toronto. And so that's important to factor in as well. I have some questions here about acquiring study visas. Once you have applied to a program and you've been accepted to that program, that's when we actually give you that immigration support. Again, we know that that study visa process that can be a stressful one to acquire. We do have people on staff who help you out with that process. That process begins after you have submitted that application. So it's important to know, yes, that support will be in place for you. We have lots of questions about application fees. Our application fee is 150 Canadian dollars, and no, we do not waive that fee. We already, again, I mentioned to you that our wait time once you apply, it's not longer than 2 weeks before you're going to hear back. And part of the reason we're able to do that is because we're making sure the volume of applications that comes in, they're serious candidates like yourself, and it's a volume that our team can keep up with. So that's why our turnaround time is so short. So I'm sorry to say, yes, the application fee is a must do. We've got a question there. Do we have a bachelor in aerospace engineering? No, unfortunately, we do not. And I'm just going to share my screen again to kind of show you as you are looking for different programs. If I share my screen again, so once you are on our website, and that's international.viu.ca, you can right here from the search bar, whatever program you are wondering about, do we have it or do we not? I can type it in and it's going to bring up all of the programs there. So again, if I go to VIU.ca, which is maybe a little bit easier for me to remember, and I click on international students, this is where all of that information for you is going to be. And again, more about life at VIU. I can keep scrolling down. If you were interested in the high school, you were interested in the language programs, that's there for you. And then I want to scroll down too to show you future students. This is where you could go ahead and find your online application. I know in the questions there were a few people who wanted some more information about Nanaimo specifically. If you're not familiar with this city, when you click that tab, again, you can see that mild weather. That's where that is at. You can learn more from tourism Nanaimo. I can keep scrolling down and hear what EDU Canada has to say about it. And I just want to point out, Nanaimo is well known for lots and lots of outdoor education options. Our campus specifically has lots of hiking trails that just, it's not uncommon for me to see new students say, okay, I just finished my class. I want to go for a walk. I need to decompress. I'm going to hit the hiking trail. I don't have to get into a car. I have the trail leading away right from campus. So I think we've just got a little bit of time left. I think what I'll do here is actually just turn it over to two of our students who are going to take you through a tour of the campus. We thought it was really important to make sure that that tour was being delivered by them because, we know that their voice is important. When you are a member of VIU, your voice really matters. So I'm going to turn it over to them so that they can tell you a little bit more about what things are like on our campus and give you more of a sense of our community.
And today we're going to take you on a tour of the beautiful VIU campus. Okay, this may be a biased opinion, but Vancouver Island is one of the most beautiful places in the world. So we're very fortunate to have a university in this location. The Nanaimo campus that we're going to be taking a tour of today has the most breathtaking ocean and coastal mountain views.
One of the biggest meeting places on campus is the Upper Cafeteria, which is home to the Culinary Institute of Vancouver Island and the Discovery Room. The culinary program helps prepare the menu in the cafeteria, so there are always lots of delicious food options. And the Discovery Room offers affordable fine dining at a reasonable price and helps train the culinary and hospitality students.
The library becomes a dear place to you because you spend majority of your time there, whether it's hanging out with friends, studying, or grabbing Starbucks. There's a bunch of resources in there, so let's check it out. So the third and the fourth floor have a variety of things. There's group hangout spots, there's group study rooms, silent study rooms, computers, librarian help desks, and there's textbooks on the fourth floor and the writing center. You have to check out the writing center. It is a great resource to utilize. Okay, so I'm going to be very honest. My first semester of VIU, I had no idea that there was a fifth floor to the library. But let me tell you, it is a hidden gem. It's a great place to go up there, study, hang out, and just embrace the beautiful view. It's the best view in Nanaimo.
We have a diverse arts and humanities department with programs such as music, theater, drama, visual arts and design, creative writing, journalism, and history. You can also visit the VIU Art Gallery on campus, as well as the Malaspina Theater, which hosts several student-run productions a year.
The Tamagawa Gardens is a beautiful oasis in the middle of campus. It has a pond with beautiful koi fish in it, a gazebo. It's the perfect place to hang out and just disconnect from the academic environment. And sometimes you might have your class out here.
At the very, very top of VIU, we have the science block. Up here, we have physics, chemistry, biology, environmental sciences. We even have a museum of natural history. One of the coolest things up here, though, is the live sturgeon. Our fisheries department has captive sturgeon that can grow up to 5 to 8 feet long.
I love the social sciences because you can pretty much find anything ending in ology except for biology. So we're talking criminology, sociology, psychology, anthropology, the list continues. Plus, this area is also home to the education program.
Thinking of living on residence? There are 3 different styles on residence: traditional, townhouse, and apartment, which have a mix of single and double rooms. If you apply by May 1st, first-year students are guaranteed a spot, but the sooner you apply, the more likely you are to get your preferred style of room.
All right, a very important building to become familiar with on campus is the Students' Union because they're here to support us as students in our academic life and our student life and contribute to it to make it the most successful that it can be. So they put on different events throughout the semesters, different stress busters. They give away free food. And if you ever want to join a club or find out more information on how to start something really cool on campus, they're definitely the place to go. Also, shout out to the Recreation and Tourism Association, which is the club on campus that Cass and I were the chair and the vice chair of last semester.
The Students Affairs building is filled with services that can help support you through your education. Registration, financial aid and awards, disability services, counseling services, advising, even a medical clinic to help support students through their time at VIU.
The gym showcases the VIU Mariners. We have a variety of sports teams at VIU. The varsity sports program has been incredibly successful throughout the years. The Mariners basketball, soccer, and volleyball teams have won numerous provincial and national championships. In the gym, you'll find a big court, of course, where you can partake in an activity, an event, or of course, watch a game. Upstairs, there's the weight room that's free for students. And if you want to do an activity through campus recreation and outdoor recreation, you can sign up through those, some of which include yoga and paddleboarding.
The Gathering Place is a home away from home for Indigenous students. It's open to everyone, though, and it's a great place just to go and meet new friendly people, maybe try Bannock or participate in a cool cultural experience.
All right, and then there's Building 180. So there's a variety of programs in here. So some of them are social work, dental assistant, and information technology.
VIU's trades programs prepare students for entry-level and apprenticeship positions in a variety of skilled occupations. We have several trades on campus, including welding, electrical, culinary, and hairdressing.
Next, we have Building 210, which is actually VIU's newest building on campus, and it has 0 emissions. In here, you'll find a variety of things, but mostly it is home to the nursing and chemistry departments.
The Faculty of International Education is the go-to spot for international students from over 90 countries. It has student services such as admissions, advising, immigration counseling. It's also where you can go to find out more information on study abroad opportunities. Downstairs in the building, they have the English Language Center, which helps students upgrade their English before they have to start their programs. The International Building also acts as the cultural hub for all students on VIU. They host events such as Culture Couch and World VIU Days.
The Management Building holds a special place in Casa and I's hearts because we're in the Recreation and Tourism Management program, which is based out of this building. There's a variety of programs in here. Some other ones include hospitality and business.
Thanks for joining us on this tour today. And if you want to know more about Vancouver Island University, you can reach us at connect@viu.ca. Bye.
We just have a few minutes left, scrolling through to see what other questions there are. We have a question here. Yes, sports scholarships. You can apply for those. We do still currently have some sports scholarships. Thank you for asking that question. Scrolling through. If there aren't any other questions for the time being, it was really lovely to spend some time with you. Again, for more information, you can head to international.viu.ca. If you'd like to connect with me to have a longer conversation, you can also reach me at worldviu@viu.ca. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to help you connect more with my team and to learn more about the unique experience that is Vancouver Island University. Thanks, everybody. I hope that you have a great rest of your CCUF International Fair. Thank you so much.